Just a quick disclaimer.
This podcast episode features gruesome and graphic content.
Listener discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, I'm Silas.
And I'm Berlise.
I love that for me. Hey everybody.
I'm Silas.
I'm Berlise.
Today we are going to be talking about Ed Gein.
I'm excited.
I am too.
I find him so interesting.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So Ed Gein was a notorious killer and grave robber. He was the inspiration for a bunch of horror characters, including Norman Bates from Psycho, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Buffalo Bill from The Silence of the Lambs. Now, normally we would talk about this at the end of the episode, but because we will probably be mentioning and referencing it throughout the full thing, we're going to talk about it now. Ed Gein was best known for his trophies that he crafted from human skin and bone, which is where Buffalo Bill and Leatherface took inspiration. Some of the things that were found in Gein's home included a wastebasket made of human skin.
Human skin covering several chair seats.
Skulls on his bedposts.
He had female skulls with some of the tops sawn off.
He had bowls made from human skulls.
A corset made from a female torso, skinned from shoulders to waist.
Leggings made from human leg skin.
Masks made from skin from female heads.
There's Leatherface. One of his victims' face mask in a paper bag, as well as her skull in a box.
One of his victims' entire head in a burlap sack, as well as their heart in a plastic bag in front of his pot-bellied stove.
A belt made from female human nipples.
9 vulvae in a shoebox.
A pair of lips on a window shade drawstring.
A young girl's dress and the vulvas of 2 females judged to have been about 15 years old.
A lampshade made from the skin of a human face.
4 noses.
Fingernails from female fingers. So Ed Gein had a lot of interesting arts and crafts around his house. But let's rewind a bit to the beginning. Edward Theodore Gein was born on August 27th, 1906 in La Crosse, Wisconsin. His parents were George and Augusta. George was a timid alcoholic father, while Augusta was a fanatically religious mother. And he had one older brother named Henry. Ed and Henry grew up in a household that was ruled by his mother, and she would constantly go on these religious preachings about the sins of lust. Augusta was verbally abusive towards Ed, but he idolized her nonetheless, which concerned Henry.
So he was a real mama's boy.
Yeah. In 1915, Augusta moved the family to a farm outside Plainfield, Wisconsin. Gein rarely left the farm except to go to school. After his father died in 1940, Ed and Henry began working more odd jobs to help support the family.
In 1944, Ed and Henry were burning brush on the property when the fire raged out of control. Henry was found dead, and it was believed to be the result of the fire, but Gein reported his brother missing to the police, but he was able to lead them straight to where the body was, which makes no sense to me. Like, why report them missing and then be like, oh, he's over there?
I know directly where he is.
Yeah. Even though he had bruises discovered on his head, the death was ruled an accident.
Of course it was.
Yeah. With his activities that had happened later on, it's believed that he killed his own brother, basically.
Yeah.
Being devoted to his mother, Gein never left home or dated anyone. But after she died in late 1945, he became deranged and left her room neat and untouched while the rest of the house fell into decay. He also developed an interest in anatomy books. Gein managed to support himself as a handyman and even as a babysitter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. How?
I think the community even often talked about him as, like, a good man.
Yeah.
Like, he was trusted.
Yeah, they also were like, he was kind of an odd person.
Odd, but, like, good.
Yeah.
Like, I think this truly shocked everyone.
So, a few residents from the area had mysteriously disappeared over the years. Among them was Mary Hogan, who ran a tavern in Pine Grove that Gein regularly went to.
November 16th, 1957, Bernice Warden was reported missing from her hardware store in Plainfield. The cash register was also gone, and there was a trail of blood leading out the back. Ed had been seen with her shortly before her disappearance, and he was soon found by the police at a neighbor's house. That night, the authorities went to Gein's home and found Bernice Warden's headless body hanging from the ceiling. She had been fatally shot, gutted, and decapitated. There were more shocking discoveries, including organs in jars and stalls used as stoop bowls, as we mentioned before. Gein confessed to killing Bernice Warden and Mary Hogan 3 years earlier. He said they resembled his mother. Gein admitted to digging up numerous corpses to cut off body parts to make masks and suits out of the skin to wear around his house. The police attempted to connect him to other murders and disappearances from recent years, but they were unable to find any evidence that would connect him to anything else. Gein's lawyer, William Belter, entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity, and in January 1958, Ed was found unfit to stand trial. He was committed to Central State Hospital.
In 1968, Ed was determined fit to stand trial, and he was found guilty of the murder of Bernice Warden, but he was also found insane at the time of the murder, so he was recommitted to the Central State Hospital. He was transferred to the Mendota Mental Health Institute, where he died of cancer and respiratory illnesses on July 26, 1984.
So he wore a skin suit. Like, he wore a suit made out of women's skin
to wear around the house.
Yeah,
and I just think of that one scene of Terrifier.
Yeah, it's giving art.
Yeah, when he and wore her boobs and walked around just very very zesty, very sassy.
That's art for you.
Yeah, that's what I imagined with Ed wearing the skin suit. Because I'm guessing the skin suit he wore supposedly was supposed to resemble his mother.
It was Norman
Bates, yeah.
I mean, once again, Norman was influenced by Ed Gein.
Yeah.
So we mentioned the items that were found in Ed's home earlier. Among them, the face mask in the paper bag, as well as the skull that was in a box, both belonged to Mary Hogan, and the head that was in a burlap sack and the heart that was in a plastic bag in front of Gein's pot-bellied stove belonged to Bernice Warden.
I'm sorry, Mary Hogan's face mask in a paper bag? Just why?
I can't get over the belt made from female human nipples.
Honestly, why do you have 4 noses and where? Did he just casually was like, I'm gonna cut off these people's noses and I'm just gonna keep them around. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
Is that where Voldemort's nose went?
Probably. Now we know. The more you know, guys. That's why he doesn't have a nose. Ed Gein took it.
Ed Gein took Voldemort's nose.
Oh my god.
I want that on a shirt.
It's just a picture of Voldemort and then Ed Gein holding a nose.
Yes. Yes. I need it.
Oh my god.
That's so messed up.
Yeah. Low key though.
It's messed up, but it's so funny at the same time. Oh my gosh.
Okay, what did he do with the fingernails from the females? Like, did he just put them on, like...
It's like, what's his name, Todd with Alberta's nail from Ghosts.
He was like, I like your nails. I'm gonna glue them on to myself.
Oh my god, no wait, he probably did.
Exactly.
Like, are we talking full nail or are we talking clippings?
I have no idea. How hard do you think it was to put the suit on? If it's like leather, that's difficult. Or what if it's like latex?
I don't know. I've never thought about that in my life, and I don't think I ever thought I would.
Sorry.
I don't know. I mean, I've never worn a human before, so...
Real. But, because he also made gloves. So I'm assuming it's like latex gloves. Or maybe like those work gloves, the winter type.
I don't know, and I don't think I want to know. But also, like, what's the stuff he made isn't just like simple thrown together looks like crap.
Yeah, he definitely knew what he was doing.
Like, this looks like stuff straight out of a horror movie set.
Yeah.
Like, while it's messed up, like, dude had serious skill with his craft. But it was a craft that never should have existed. Maybe in like a special effects department with fake human skin.
Or maybe just
not
just
apply it with something else.
You could do that sort of craft without...
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying without killing somebody.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, even if that was the case, like, if he was this skilled enough to do all of this, he could have had a serious, like, pretty cool career. He could have had a shop instead of this.
He had a not hard upbringing. It's not an excuse. But this is a nature versus nurture type situation. I think nurture had more of a role than nature did. I'm not excusing it at all. It's horrendous.
Yeah. The belt made out of nipples.
That one I just can't let go of.
It's weird.
Did he wear it?
Did he wear it, like, outside? And he's just like, oh, you know, I bought this at, like...
I don't think he wore any of his creations outside of the house.
Outside?
But... also, keep in mind the time.
Yeah, true.
But I think...
I think he probably wore all of it.
Yeah. Did he eat out of the skull bowls?
Probably. He was probably eating cereal or something.
So technically, because he only confessed to 2 murders, he's not a serial killer by definition. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people still consider him within the serial killer category.
Yeah. I think it's just because he's interesting.
I mean, this is not something you see every day.
Yeah, and I think that's how come he's so sort of like well known, because of how out of pocket this man was.
I mean, a belt of nipples, a human skin suit. He had such an influence on the true crime scene that it's like,
yeah,
how can you not consider him a big one?
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, Ed Gein was the inspiration for some of the biggest horror movies. Mm-hmm. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we see Leatherface, who makes masks out of human skin. Yeah. Just like Ed Gein did.
Yeah. And then there's Norman Bates.
In Psycho, who had a split personality, basically, where one was his mother and one was him. Mm-hmm. And when the mother's side would take over, he would dress as her and kill. And that ties into, once again, dressing up like his mother, like Ed Gein did, as well as the unhealthy relationship that they had. Yeah,
that's kind of sad.
And then Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs took on inspiration from multiple serial killers, including Ted Bundy as well, with the fake broken arm, which I will get into in the Ted Bundy episode. But Buffalo Bill would kidnap larger women, and then I think he starved them, if I remember correctly, so that their skin was looser. And then he would basically kill and skin them and make...
skin suits.
Yeah. Though I will say the scene where he's putting on his attire and he steps back from the camera, he's tucked and everything. The music playing, Goodbye Horses, I love that song.
Just on a good note, that song slaps. Absolute
honestly,
banger.
It's such a vibe. One of the best smoke songs for me, in my opinion.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Ed Gein. It's a pretty short episode, but I was really excited to cover this one.
Thank you all for listening. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below what topics you think we should cover.
We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.